Hello, today's objective is 3.9b. We will analyze a variety of poems by identifying the rhyme scheme, structural elements, and sound devices such as onomatopoeia and imagery. So first off, poetry. What is it? It's a type of literature that expresses ideas, feelings, or tells a story in a specific form, usually using lines and stanzas. So that's the first part of what we're going to get into, is what are lines and stanzas. A line is a single row of words in a poem. A stanza is a group of lines in a poem separated by a space, like a paragraph. So if you look at this poem, first off you can see the groups of lines that are the stanzas. So as I count the stanzas, we have 1, then we have a space, 2, another space, 3, a space, and 4. So how many stanzas does this poem have? 4. How many lines are in each stanza? If you count the lines, they're like the sentences, but they're not always a complete sentence. So each stanza has 1, 2, 3, 4 lines. Next one again, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This grouping of the lines and the stanzas is what gives you the rhyme scheme. What does it mean if, not is, but if, 2 words rhyme? If 2 words rhyme, it means that they have the same blank sound. Anybody know? I'll give some examples in class. But if 2 words rhyme, it means that they have the same ending sound, like dog, smog, frog, log, and flog all rhyme because they end with the sound og. They each have og in them at the end, and that's what makes them rhyme. Same with the purple words here, they all end in at. Cat, splat, bat, frat, gnat. What makes them all rhyme is the ending sound at. And with these we have render, sender, blender, fender, trender. They all end in To be more specific, it's der. So the ending sound der is what makes all these words rhyme. Most poems that you're going to see on your test and the ones that we go over in class are going to have an end rhyme. This definition means the repetition of the sound at the end of 2 or more words occurs at the end of lines. Circle the words that rhyme in this poem. We have, this one has a little car, say what a lot of fish there are. Car and are rhyme. So when you're looking for the words that rhyme in a poem, don't look over here. You're not circling words here at the beginning or the middle. You're always looking at the words at the end. Blue, new, sad, glad, bad. Here's another one. The words that rhyme are found at the end of the lines. Circle the words that rhyme in this poem. Time, rhyme, floor, door, bicycle, icicle, hat, cat, tail, whale. Again, I'm not looking at the words here at the beginning or in the middle. I'm always looking at the end to see the words that rhyme. And this one, the first and second words or first and second lines of each stanza rhyme. And that's what gives the poem its rhythm. Once upon a time, I caught a little rhyme. I set it on the floor, but it ran right out the door. I chased it on my bicycle, but it melted on an icicle. I scooped it up in my hat, but it turned into a cat. I caught it by the tail, but it stretched into a whale. I followed it in a boat, but it changed into a goat. When I fed it tin and paper, it became a tall skyscraper. Then it grew into a kite and flew far out of sight. Circle the words that rhyme in this poem. Stop thief. Policeman, policeman, help me please. Someone went and stole my knees. I chased them down, but I suspect my feet and legs just won't connect. Please, knees, suspect, connect. Again, it's the words at the end of the lines. We'll do this in class as well. We'll circle the words that rhyme. Again, they will be falling at the end. Not every word, like here, peace and peace, well, they rhyme, but it's really the same word. And then you have blue and shoe, bean and queen, bite and white. But these other words, like stepmother and queen, they don't rhyme. There's no words that rhyme with them. So it's not always every word that rhymes. Again, that's what gives it the rhyming scheme. Here we have bride and side, hair and bear, cloak and smoke, trace and face. We also have similes and metaphors. A simile is a comparison of two different things using the words like or as. An example would be, on her first day of school, Jane was as cool as a cucumber. Again, they're comparing Jane to a cucumber, using the word cool. But since it has the word as in it, it is a simile. A metaphor is when you compare two things that are different, and you don't use the words like or as. For example, Noah has a heart of a lion. There's no like or as, and so this one is not a simile, it's a metaphor. Again, similes always have the words like or as in them. We'll show this video in class. I'll also post this in the Google Classroom so you can see it. Just tells the difference between similes and metaphors. And here's some examples too. Similes again have the word like or as. Her heart is or is. Her heart is like gold. The world is like a stage. He eats like a pig. You are like a rock. Your eyes are like sunshine, poor as dirt. Metaphors do not have the words like or as in them, so it's just her heart is gold. The world is a stage. He is a pig. You are a rock. You are my sunshine, sea of sand. I don't get that last one. So again, you're going to tell if these sentences are metaphors or similes. The truck is as big as an elephant. My heart, I need to fix this. Heart's a stereo. She swims like a fish. I need to move this too. She swims like a fish. He's as dirty as a pig. Baby, you're a firework. Imagery is when an author uses adjectives in order to appeal to one of the reader's five senses. For example, the tiny red ant climbed up the broken twig. Is the words tiny and red appeal to your sense of sight because they describe what it looks like, the ant. Smell, the sweet smell of freshly baked apple filled, should be apple pie or something, baked apple filled the air. So sweet smell, it automatically tells you that it's appealing to your sense of smell. It's describing what it smells like. One bite of the sour lemon caused my lips to pucker. Sour is an adjective that describes how something tastes, so these words appeal to your sense of taste. Sound, the car squeaked every time I hit a bump in the road. This time it's not an adjective, rather the verb squeak is a type of sound, so it appeals to your sense of sound. The sharp edge of the paper cut my finger and made it sting. It's saying that sting is a verb to describe when something's hurting your skin that appeals to your sense of touch. And here's some more examples that you will answer. Which of your 5 senses do these words appeal to? A narrative poem is a poem that tells a story. Just think of like the narrator of a story is the person who tells a story. Well, a narrative poem tells a story. Not all poems tell a story. Some are really short and sweet and they're just funny or silly or express someone's feelings, but others do tell a story. It says here, some narrative poems use end rhyme, some do not. For example, this one is The Greedy Dog. There once was a dog filled with greed, who wanted much more than his need. When he saw his reflection upon further inspection, he ended with nothing indeed. What is the theme in this narrative poem? We read this story, not in a poem form, but in story form last week. And you're going to read this poem and answer, does this narrative poem rhyme? And then we'll do this together in class. We're going to read this poem. We'll circle the words that rhyme. We'll answer how many stanzas it has. We'll answer how many lines are in each stanza. And we'll answer which lines rhyme in each stanza. And talk about what is the theme. But it's another example of a narrative poem. Again, I'm making this video, we'll go over these things in class, but I'm making this video to be able to go over the vocabulary terms, and if you're not taking notes in class, you'll be able to refer to this video to see what the terms are that you'll have to know for poetry, like what is a narrative poem, and what is rhyme scheme, what are lines, and what are stanzas. But this won't be your assignment. You'll have another assignment on a Google form to answer. And I will see you in class. Goodbye.